Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Knitter in her sewing room. My name is Suzanne, the Kitchen Knitter, and this is my little space on YouTube where I show you what I've been stitching. It is February the 2nd, 2026, and I'm in a new location. Just before Christmas we moved house. I go into a bit more detail about it on my Kitchen Knitter podcast because obviously I'm podcasting from a different kitchen, no auger, and we have downsized quite considerably. So I'm in my new sewing room. I'm sitting here. The window's to my left, and this is at the front of the house. So we're on a new. Obviously, it's a new build, and we're on a new development. It's a very small development, and we're in a little cul-de-sac of 7 houses, and the house at the top is being finished, and they're sorting the garden out. So there's lots of movement of JCBs and lots of bleeping and stuff, and at the moment it's quiet. I think it's lunchtime, so it's quiet, but we might be interrupted, and then the street cleaner might come down because it's been very wet and muddy as well. He comes down, those big things that clean the gutters and things. He comes down every day. It's not a great day today. It's dry, but anyway, they're probably on their lunch break now, so it's all quieting down a bit. But we might hear. I had my back to the window, and it wasn't right. The light was, there was too much light in my glasses. I can't really avoid it, and there's a bit of reflection there now, but it was a bit too much for the window. But then a JCB hove interview, and then back again. So anyway, it is what it is. I did want to do this on Saturday, but it was a very nice day, and the ground workers were sort of cracking on with stuff. They don't normally work at the weekend. However, so I'll show you what it's a while since I podcast, both in my knitting podcast and the sewing podcast. I think it was July. I was about to go to the Stitchery, and where we live now, I'm half an hour away from the Stitchery. So I had a wonderful time at Stitchery. It was wonderful. It was Christmas in July. I was there for a week, met some lovely, lovely people. And I'm not going to show you what we did because it's Christmassy, and I haven't finished them. And I don't really, I'll show you one little thing because it doesn't scream Christmas. And I'll show you when I've finished. When I finished them. So sorry, just somebody's. The other thing is our house, like most new builds now, we don't have a front garden. We have a border and a bit of grass, and then it's the pavement, and somebody's just walked past the window, and it makes you look up. So what have I been? I'll show you what I've been momentarily working on. I might even be repeating myself, and forgive me if I am, but one of the things that I started and I haven't finished is this, and it is Elizabeth's 4 Dogs from the Scarlet House. And it's so pretty. It's a little pin keep, or a pin cushion. Pin keep, I think is an American word, isn't it? And I am using the call for yarn, called for threads and fabric, and it is linen, I should say. I haven't done this for a while. So it's Sleeping Bear. That's the call for linen, but I'm using 36 count, and that's what I've done so far. And I think that might have been where I was when I showed you way back in July. And now the light is forgiving here because I used 2 different browns on those dogs. Now whether I take one out and do it again, I don't know, but I'm going to. It's very, very pretty and it's lovely, and I'm going to carry on. I'm using all the call for threads, which are classic Colourworks, or the pattern gives you the threads. I don't think I'm breaking any rules by showing you this, and it is you get DMC equivalents. So I'm using all the classic Colourwork threads, which are those. I'm copying Sian, Periwinkle Stitcher. She always twists them around, and it is an absolutely perfect way of seeing all the colours rather than them just hanging there. It's gorgeous. You see how they sort of blend almost, don't they? Lovely. Gorgeous. So I will carry on with that and hopefully finish it. I don't know about next time, but I'm going to carry on and do that because I think it's just such a pretty. You've got birds and the dogs and the hearts. It's gorgeous, and the crowns, and then this lovely edging. I've never cross stitched words before. It says Elizabeth Campbell. Now, does that mean it's age 11? Is that what that means? Anyway, it's 1892. Lovely. So I'm going to crack on with that. That's the only one that's not in a hoop. Actually, I have a bad habit of keeping them in the hoop. So right, so that's one thing that's kind of, they're all works in progress. They're all whips. That's the first whip. The second one is in this bag, and you have seen this before, but I think I've done a bit more on it since the last time I showed you. And let me get it's living in this bag I made myself, just with some rose and hubble fabric with a contrast. I think it was a pack of fat quarters I bought online. I can't remember from, I think it might have been Fabric Love, but you get a selection of all the sort of you get the spotty ones, and then you get the floral ones, and they're all of a green and a pink, and I think you get some stripes as well. You get some stripy ones, but it's good. I love green and pink. Absolutely love green and pink. So it's falling out of the hoop. Oh well, if it's falling out the hoop, I'll take it out of the hoop and show you properly then. So this is Fox and Rabbits and Harper Pindrum, and that's it all sort of flat out in a frame, and there's the Pindrum, and there's a chance to do the bird, and I think that is that flower, part of that flower there. I think, I don't know, there is a separate chart for that as well. No, it doesn't look the same, does it? No, I'm talking rubbish. Yeah, so you've got that one, and then you've got that, and you've got that, and it's I'm using the Call for linen, which is 36 count desert taipan. Oh, I've got my little stitch marker on there, haven't I? Okay. It's gone up my sleeve now. There we go. And that's how much I've done. And I'm not sure about that crown. I think it's on the wonk. I'm going to have a look at that. Whether I do anything about it, I don't know. I'll see how it looks at the end, but that's how much I've done. And it is so pretty, so pretty. And I'm doing this as a stitch along Sal with Natalie, who is Sewing Room Secrets, who has just started a floss tube. She's done 2 videos now, and oh, her work is exquisite. The floss tube is lovely. Her work is incredible. It's beautiful, and she's very lovely as well. And she won. I bought 2 of these by accident, and so I gave one away, and Natalie won it. And so she said, "Would you like to do it?" And I was a bit, because I'm not very good at keeping up with everybody else. I'm hopeless with deadlines. And I thought, well, I'll just, yes, Natalie shows it on her, I think it's her second podcast, and she's way ahead of me, and it's beautiful. So I'm going to crack on with this, and I'll show you the call. I'm using all the call for yarns. You see, you can tell I haven't done this for a while because I'm doing it all back to front, aren't I? Anyway, I'll show you the call for yarns. They are a mixture of DMC and Weeks Dye Works. I'm using all the call for, and See like that? That's beautiful, isn't it? Gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. And then the DMCs are sort of the browns and the white. Lovely. So I'm going to carry on with that. Sort of, now I've retired, I mean, I can, and we've got such a small house compared to what, our house it wasn't a big house, but it was a family house. And I can whiz around here. Well, I can do something every day. I'm retired. I'm not going out to work. So I can do a bit of housework every morning, get up early, as I do a bit of housework, and then the day is mine. So I can do a bit of stitching. I tend to knit. I've been knitting in the evenings recently. I sometimes knit in the afternoons, but I've been stitching. So on and off, because we've either had to go and get things from places like B&Q and where else? What else have I been doing? Sorts of things, but it's, you know, so sometimes I've had to go out, and so that I've not been in all day, which is good really, but I do need to be persuaded to go out, leave the house. So I'm going to be carrying on doing that, and I've got another little needle minder from Chapelview Crafts. It's Battenberg cake and jammy dodgers. So that's another work in progress. They're all going to be work in progresses, true to form. So that's that one. That. Another work in progress is, you won't have seen this because I have only just started it, and it's living in this bag I made myself, and this beautiful fabric is from Acufactum, and it's the Gaylord geese. And I wanted to, I've used a very thick interfacing, it was all I had left, and the zip catches a little bit on the fabric, but I wanted to do it like my other project bag, where you've got a little bit of contrast on the top, but I stuck the interfacing onto the wrong bit, so I had to do it like that. Never mind, it's still beautiful fabric, but that's Acufactum in there as well. But it's lovely. But I didn't have enough. I had to do a little bit of a seam along there, because I made my daughter, who likes to do cross stitch, a project bag. It's lovely. I think I made her a project bag out of this. There was some reason I can't, well, if that's not the reason, I can't remember why, but I didn't have a full, I think it's 14 by 10 and 12 by 10. And I didn't have a full, this is the 12 by 10 bit, and that's a complete side there. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, this fabric, Acufactum. I got this in my subscription from the Stitchery. I did a subscription last year, and you got a pack of fat quarters every month. Oh, it was lovely. I've got some of them there, sort of stacked up there. I've got loads. I had bought some as well, but they're waiting to be used. So what I am doing is, and this is the first one I've ever done, and it is Stacey Nash Animal Crackers, and this is Bobbin. Very sweet little mouse. And I'm using all the called for threads, which are Weeks Dye Works. There's a lot of pelican grey in there, and I'm running out, so I think I might have to do a little sofa shopping this afternoon. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And oops, I'm stitching her on, where did I put it now? There we are. The called for linen, which is 36 count needle bling linen in suede. Now, I started, this is my start, and as I was coming down the side here and here, for some reason I didn't have enough room for the stitches. I needed 4 stitches, I could only do 3 stitches. Something went awry, so I started picking it all out, and then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start again. So I've started again, and that is this bit here, there. So it's not much. I think I did that yesterday afternoon. Not much to show. So I think the men have started working again. So what time is it? Anyway, so that's my progress on that. Not much, but it's very, and what I've done is I've photocopied the chart, and I'm starting to highlight where I've been, and I think that might work, and it might just show me what I'm doing, but well, where I'm going wrong, I mean. But it's just a sweet little Stacey Nash bobbin. We don't live far away from the Stitchery now. I'm about half an hour away. So I booked myself on a Saturday workshop, and it's to stitch. It's with Sarah, Nikki's sister. Sarah, who's the Stitchery sisters. And it's I think it's Miss Hazel. It's a Stacey Nash Animal Cracker workshop. I think it's, because I've got Maggie May. I'm sure it's Miss Hazel. I'm sure it is. Anyway, so that's on the 19th of April. So I'm looking forward to that. And so that, again, another work in progress. So put that one over there. Another one is it, and this is another sew along. I saw it come up on, it was Instagram, I think, and it was Sean Periwinkle Stitching. She'd got all the kit and was going to do it, and I thought, oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to do that too, because I haven't finished anything. Started another one. So I bought the kit. I bought everything. I bought the linen, the threads, and the pattern, the chart, from Swan Bay Fabrics, where Sean had got hers from, and she kitted everything up. So I have got, oh, that's the marker I use for it's a Stitchery sister one, and you've got a pink and a yellow, and they've got such a nice neat nib. You can dot on the pattern. I photocopied the chart, so when you photocopy it, the ink smudges. So but you can dot on this, and it's in it. You can still see what you've done and what you've left to do. So I'll show you how much I've done. I'll show you the chart first, because the pattern first, because it's a sew along, so you're doing it in stages, and I think that bit there was the first bit, and then that's the next bit, and then that, and then I think it's over 1, 2, 3. I think it's over four weeks, and it's now week 2, and I'm still doing this, and I'll show you my progress. So I got the kit, so it's everything. Again, it's Weeks Dye Works linen beige, 36 count, and you get a huge piece. Huge. She does advise you to cut it down, and I'm holding my breath about that. But these are the gorgeous threads, all Weeks Dye Works. There. Gorgeous colours, beautiful. And it is a Bees and Birds sewing roll, Biscorno and scissor fob. I've never done a Biscorno before. I'm assuming that's it, because that's the scissor fob. That must be the Biscorno. This is the sewing roll, and it's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Stacey Nash. She just has the exquisite taste in colour, I think, and that's as much as I've done. But I haven't had to unpick any of this. I might be jinxing it now, but I haven't had to unpick any of this. So that's how much I've done. And it's very, very pretty. Again, it's all pinks and greens, and it's lovely. So there's enough linen there to do everything. But I think I should cut it down, because it's quite a lot to cope with. It's lovely. So that's another work in progress. and it's living in a bag. It's a project bag I bought at Stitchery. Nikki and Sarah's mum, who I think is called Glennis. It's all my bits and pieces in there, and it's gorgeous. Again, it's acufactum fabric, and with a lovely stripe. And you've got the vinyl thing. I've tried to make project bags with vinyl. I've got some, but it's very slippy. But I was telling someone when I was at the Stitchery, and she said, well, why don't you just use the paper that it kind of is wrapped around? And I thought, why didn't I think of that? So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to have a go. And it's nice to be able to see everything at a glance. So with the bag, you got a gorgeous thread bed. Oh. There. See that lovely thread bed with a felty bit to put some needles in, and lovely big one in the same fabric, and it's been beautifully made, so neat. So that's that. So this is a sew along. I don't think I've said this, have I? This is a sew along. Across the Pond, Sal 2025. So I'm assuming, and that's highlighted with what I'd asked for, because you can get the different counts and two different sizes of lengths of fabric. And this is, yeah, Swan Bay. Swan Bay. So I got everything for that, and it's lovely. So I need to crack on. I need to pull my finger out and get on with that, because I think it'll be a lovely, and I like sewing things that will have a use afterwards, not just to kind of just put in a drawer and forget about. I'll be able to use that as a sewing roll. Lovely. Or even just display it, but you know, I won't be hiding it away. Well, I might be if it's awful, but I don't think it will be. I will do my best. So that's the 3 things that I'm working on. I haven't done any embroidery because I'm always very critical of my embroidery. But while I was at the Stitchery and it was embroidery day, I bought this little, and it's a festive heart. No, sorry, festive posy, it says there, festive posy mini embroidery kit. I'm not sure I'm going to put the word on. I might put that little heart on. I'm not sure about that. I've been debating whether to put the thing on there. But you get, with the little kit, you get the lovely linen, and then you get some linen to back it with, and somewhere in here is a little, there we are, there's a little bit of jute string to hang it up with. And of course it all comes, you know, beautifully packed in these gorgeous folders, and with, you know, and vintage ribbon, and oh, it's beautiful. And here these were the threads. So I've still got a few left. It's very Christmassy, isn't it? And so I've had a little, now my embroidery leaves a lot to be desired. I think this is the only second thing I've had an attempt at embroidery. My mum was a beautiful embroiderer, and if I used to watch her embroidering, but it was tray cloths and napkins and things, which I always thought were a bit boring. But I was a bit of a hippie when I was a teenager, going up into my 20s and going up to 20, and there was a jeans make, I think they were called Iniga jeans, and they had embroidery, usually palm trees or something, on like the back pocket of the jeans, or if you bought the jacket, they were on the pockets at the front, and it was just this embroidery, and it was lovely. And I saved they were expensive jeans, and I saved to get, I bought the jacket and I bought the jeans, but I never wore them together. That's a bit of a faux pas. No, you don't wear denim. That was what I was always told. You don't wear a denim jacket with jeans. Oh no. So, and I can remember buying them, I lived up in the northeast, and I went to there was a shop in Sunderland that sold these jeans, and this I had to lie on the floor to get into them, you know, because you can't get the zip up. And this this shop assistant was determined I was having these jeans, and I was determined I was having them. So between us, we got the zip up. So I mean, I would have been what, 18? I was only about 8.5 stone then. Oh. I was only about 8.5 stone, so but I still needed help to get into these jeans, and I absolutely loved them. But I then bought a pair of cords, and my mum embroidered. And there was I don't know whether this was before or after, but there was a fashion where you cut the and you put like a godet in to make them look like flares. So I think that was a bit before. I can't remember now. Anyway, she embroidered flowers on the bottom of these cords. Oh, I thought it was the bee's knees. And it was beautiful embroidery. It was gorgeous. And so I thought, well, there's no point me doing it because my mum can do it so much better. Anyway, this is my attempt at, I'll show you what it should look like. That's better, isn't it? You can't see my face. There we are. And that is my attempt. So you can see that's where you do love and a little heart there. But it doesn't scream Christmas to me. It just, well, it's called a festive posy. So see I think these are these French knots? Well, whatever they are, they're not brilliant. And it's, you know, it's lots of split stitch and that's my first ever attempt at couching. So it's okay. I'm going to make the heart. I've got a template and I've got some stuffing now. I didn't have stuffing when I finished it, so I'm going to make this into a little heart, and I'm going to hang it up on my. I've got oh, you can't see them. I've got little wooden pegs things on the wall now, and I've got my threads hanging over there, and I've got another one over here which has just got fripperies hanging on it, and I'll hang it from that. It's okay, isn't it? It's all right. It would win any competitions, but it's okay. So, and you can still get loads of threads left. So I shall put that. I shall do that. I shall put that in a little heart. I might do that sometime this week. We'll see. See how there was nothing on this week. I had a busy week last week, but nothing on this week. So that might be quite nice. We're still waiting. We're waiting on a sofa and 2 chairs, a shed, a very small shed, and then the greenhouse shed combination, which I'm really keen to get into because I would like to get my seeds going. So and our garden it's very small, and we've put in a border. We bought some soil improver and stuff at the weekend. We're going to go and get some more. We didn't quite buy enough, but I just want, you know, so we're starting to do things. And what else is coming? Something else is being delivered. A Koya mat for the front door. We've had a made to measure one because we've got a lovely hallway, and it's got cardim on the floor. So you walk in, and all we've got at the moment is carpet, old, you know, waste carpet from the carpets that have been put down, and it's starting to look a bit manky, and because it's horrible out there. It's the weather as well. It doesn't help. So yeah, so I've ordered a proper Koya made to measure mat. So we're waiting for that. I can't think of anything else. Right, so the other things I've got planned on doing. When I was at the Stitchery, I bought this. It's Stitchery Sisters, part of the heirloom collection, and there was a sample of it on the wall as you went into the kitchen to make your coffee. There was, I mean, everywhere you looked in the studio, even in the loo, was just gorgeous. gorgeous. And the quilts in the, it's like you go in, it's like a hallway, and the kitchen's off to the left, and then you go into the studio proper and the shop, and it's just all gorgeous. And I came away thinking, I want to make that, I want to make that, I want to make that. And this was on the wall on like I think it's like a flagpole. It was just hanging. In fact, there's a picture of it on that flagpole, and it's this, Ode to a Snowdrop. Now I think that is that's going to take me a while, because I think I'm going to be quite slow on that bit, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I bought the pattern, and I bought the thread pack, and it's to a snow, and that is actually going to wrap up. They're all. I bought it. It was the thread pack, and so it's all Simply Gentle Art, Simply Shaker, sampler threads. It's all Gentle Art, but Simply Shaker and sampler threads. The colours are beautiful. Again, lots of pinks and greens. Look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. So. And I haven't got, I thought I had, I didn't buy any linen, but it is 36 count Picture This Plus linen in Legacy. But it says suitable fabrics are Picture This Plus fawn and fibre on a whim in wheat. Now I think I might have Picture This Plus in fawn. I don't know. And I don't know if it's big enough. But it may not be big enough. So again, I might be doing a bit of sofa shopping this afternoon. But isn't that just gorgeous? Beautiful. And I want to do that. I want to copy that. I want to hang it up like that in my sewing room here. It was just by the door as you go into the kitchen. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And the other thing I'm stealing, shamelessly stealing, is near that Ode to a Snowdrop on the wall was a little rack, and it was dolls' clothes, and white cotton dolls' clothes, sort of vintage, for about a size 18-inch doll, I think, but they'd been embroidered. I assume Nikki had embroidered them. Beautiful. And I thought, oh, I'm copying that one as well. So what have I done with it? Oh, it's over there. I purchased this. Oh, everything falling apart now. I purchased this on eBay. It wasn't, I think it was about £10, it wasn't. And I plan on doing perhaps some little embroidery there, with a little bit of tiny embroidery there, or the other way around. I don't know. But I thought I'm going to play with this. And it's just a pretty little cotton dress. And then I've sent for some little hangers, and I'm going to hang them up on my pegs over there. And I've had a little go at embroidery. I just want to keep practicing, I think. But it's just actually on its own, it's a very pretty little dress. So that's a steal, an absolute steal from Stitchery. And I want to make a start on this, but I think it's going to take me a while. How long have we got? Oh gosh, I've been rambling on for half an hour. Right, so, and the other cross stitch chart I would like to do is this one, and it is Audie's Pink House. Again, it's all pink. I do like the pretty ones. I think that's gorgeous, and I would like to have that on the wall in here. So this is a Fox and Rabbit pattern chart, and it uses, I haven't got anything for this. I might have the threads. It uses a combination of Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colour Works, and I don't have any Desert Taipan. So I'm going to have to, again, do a bit of sofa shopping. Yeah, sofa shopping this afternoon. That's lovely. That is absolutely lovely. So that's a plan. And then the other thing I'm back onto embroidery. I'm skipping all over the place. Is I want to do this one. because I think it's just lovely. And I think I'm challenging myself there, because I think these are bullion stitches. I don't know, but look at that texture on it. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to do that, and it will, of course it comes. I bought this when I was at Stitchery, and it is, these are, you get the linen, and these are all the threads. You get loads. I mean, you won't use all those. They're just so generous, and it's lovely. And you've got that little pop of red there. Where would that go? Oh, I don't know. But there's that little pop of red, and all the others are beautifully muted greens and taupes and various shades of green. Lovely. So that's something I want. I want to practice my embroidery, because I do like this sort of thing. I think it's gorgeous, and I would display it. I want to buy one of those dough bowls, and like Charlotte has a beautiful dough bowl, and she puts all her smalls and things seasonally or themed, and it always looks fantastic. So I'm a terrible copycat. I really am. I have no thought in my head for myself. I just copy everybody else. And I have signed up for Stitchery again for a subscription, and it is the embroidery project, and it's the Time for Tea at the Stitchery. For the love of tea. Is it called the Time for Tea? It doesn't say, does it? But that's the packaging. I mean, that is just gorgeous, isn't it? Beautiful. And this is number 1. And this is for a good night's sleep. Again, I'm going to be challenging myself with this, but I think I'm going to just do it and stop procrastinating. Just do it. And of course you get this, the beautiful folder, and you get the linens, and you also get the little typed to put on them. And these are the linens. Again, gorgeous colours, beautiful colours. I don't know if I can do the, oh, kind of, yeah, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely. And this is a good night's sleep, and you get all the bits and pieces, and the fixing, is it called fixing? Stabilizer, and beautiful linen. Beautiful linen, and I think that's the stabilizer. A bit of interfacing. Oh, it's lovely. And the fabrics, the threads are all DMC. I think I can't show you the inside without giving too much away. But anyway, that's Time for Tea. Oh yeah, it says across there, Time for Tea and a good night's sleep, for a good night's sleep. And this is number 1 of the Sarah, Nikki's sister, is doing a cross stitch version of it too, but I thought I'll do an embroidery one, because I'll crack on with some embroidery, because I have subscribed to, well, I haven't subscribed, I've pre-ordered Sarah's summer box, which is The Secret Garden, and that's coming out in June. So I thought, well, I'll have that one for embroidery and that one for... And the last thing I've got to show you is I bought the Stitchery Sisters Christmas box, and it comes, I've taken it all out the box, and it comes in this lovely keepsake box. It comes all wrapped up in tissue like that, and this is what you get. It was you get a little card. to tell you what you've got inside, and the little bags were numbered 1 to 7, so it was like just for a week. And it's not Christmassy, so you could do it any time, but it's that little, you're on the wonk again. I need a new tripod. This one is on its last legs. It's had a hard life. So, and the little bags were numbered. So this I'll just show you them. Maybe it wasn't necessarily the order. I mean, this didn't come in the bag. This was lying at the bottom of the thing, and it is the Little Red House sampler, pin, cushion, needlebook, and sampler. So I think there's a better picture inside. That's let me see. Show you. Well, that's, you get a needle book. Oh, it's all falling off. So that's the sampler. That's the sampler. Isn't that gorgeous? The Little Red House. And see, I'm trying not to give too much away, because I think you, I'm not sure if you can now, but I think you were able to buy this. See, and there's the pin keep. There. But that beautiful. Again, that's gonna take me a while, but it's just so lovely. So that's the chart. You can see a little bit of the house there. Lovely. I bought some of those buttons when I was at Stitchery, and I've got a bowl just like that with threads and bits and pieces in like that. Such a copycat. And so in the bag you've got the chart. You've got this bag, little jute bag, the Stitchery sisters, and I've just put everything in. So you've got the thread, which is picture this plus vellum. So that's the call for, it's not the thread, is it? The call for linen. You've got a grime guard. Now I don't use these, but it might, come in use. So you've got grime guard and a very pretty fabric. I think that might be French General. Certainly has a look of it, doesn't it? Gorgeous. Does it say it's French General? No, it just says it's a grime guard. All the call for fabrics in Weeks Dye Works. And now, do you call that a floss drop? I don't know, but can you see it's got the Little Red House? And I don't know what these are called, but you can. Sean has said how to do it on one of her videos, and I'm going to look back at that. Oh, here we are. There's a JCB going down the road. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely. So that was the threads, and then what else did you get? It was like a little selection box. You open whatever. You got some. Now I think these are called floss drops, aren't they? You got these with the Little Red House on. You got loads of them. Look at all that. Lovely, gorgeous. On a ring. You got some. This is lovely. Stitcher's lotion hand cream. This is lovely, and it does exactly what it says. It sinks in. Gorgeous. I think it's from America. Yes, Iowa. So I'm not sure if we can get it in this country. I don't know. I mean, Sarah must get it from somewhere, but I wonder if she sells it in the shop. Gorgeous. It's absolutely lovely, and it's not strong smelling. And then we got some sweets, little sweet treats, which I've eaten. Delicious. And that is Dorset Sands the Botanical Maxwell. I don't do the melts, but I should give this to my daughter, because who does? Is that? And I think that's to finish off the little pin cushion, isn't it? These gorgeous chenille threads. I don't know, does she say they're from chenille yarn for finishing your projects? White magnets. Now I've not tried these yet, but they're to keep all your fabric out the way when it's on the hoop. Brilliant. Brilliant. And we got a needle, Stitchery Sisters needle minder, and a needle threader. That gorgeous in rose gold. Gorgeous. So that was the Christmas box, and very nice too. So again, that's another big project that I'm going to start and just work on throughout the year, and display it in my craft room somewhere. Oh, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. And 45 minutes, goodness me. And it's lunchtime. The workmen are back, as we've just heard, and I'm hungry. So I'm going to go and have... I've not been sewing any garments. Speaking of food, I need to shift some weight, and so I'm hoping I'm going to drop a couple of dress sizes if I'm lucky, if I'm good. And so I don't really want to be making dresses in this size. I've got plenty to wear now that I'm not going to work. I've got plenty to wear. I mean, I don't want to live in jeans. I've got jeans on today, but I don't want to live in them. I do like to put a dress on every now and again. So yeah, I have not sewn any garments. I've got a lunar lapin all cut out ready to sew, but it's just the pieces, and that's hand sewing, and I'll do that as and when. I can't think of anything else that's languishing to do. No, JCB's coming back again. So with that, oh, that was a bit close, sorry. With that, I will bid you farewell until next time, which will probably be the middle of March. We've got a holiday planned in March. We're going to Spain for a few days. My husband's sister lives there, so we're going to visit for 4 days. Yeah. So that'll be nice. That's something to look forward to. And yes, but I will podcast before I go. So hopefully I'll have something finished, or well into it at least. But that was just a little soup song of what I've been stitching. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing and leaving lovely comments. Thank you so much. Bye.